Now, a controversial bill that mandates police officers log all of their encounters with New Yorkers continues to be the center of a political battle between the mayor and city leaders. The How Many Stops Act was passed back in December. It would require the NYPD to document every stop they make, even if someone's just asking for directions. OK, these are level 1 stops. They're just basic conversations with the public. Officers would also have to log the apparent race, gender and age of the people they encounter. Mayor Adams vetoed the bill last week, saying it will slow down officer response times. City leaders are now working to override that veto, and they say the bill will hold officers accountable. Joining us now to talk about all this, CBS law enforcement contributor and former deputy commissioner with the NYPD, Richard Esposito. Richard, thanks for joining us here this morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris. Good morning.
So Mayor Adams is defending his decision to veto this bill, saying the administrative burden would just be immense if passed. So how would this change the day-to-day lives of NYPD officers if they have to document everything right down to someone saying, excuse me, can you direct me to Times Square?
Imagine you have 10 311 calls, 5 911 calls, and a group of people that walk by you on the street. Will you be able to do all of those now? Each time you stop, you now get to fill out some tick box, whether it's on an app or on a piece of paper, and you start adding half hours to everyone's day. They would start running out of time to do their jobs when their jobs are devoted to filling in paperwork, in essence.
So obviously it is adding time to this day. But let me ask you this. Let me play devil's advocate. How useful would this information be if officers did have the required time to fill out this data?
That is the core question. Is the data useful at all? And the criminal justice experts at John Jay, not the police department, not the mayor, they say this data is so subjective as to be useless. And the biggest risk is that this data might become the basis of future policy. You're asking officers to go look at a person and say, gender, what do I think? Race, what do I think? Age, what do I think? What use is that data? This is the case of the city council doing something it often does, creating a problem to solve instead of solving the problems we have.
So let me ask you, the New York Civil Liberties Union called the veto, quote, an affront to transparent and accountable policing as black and brown New Yorkers continue to be disproportionately subjected to humiliating stops by the New York Police Department with zero public oversight. So I guess my question to you is there another way to change policing while still holding officers accountable, but to yet, I guess, make everyone somewhat happy to cut down on this disproportionate number that they speak of?
That is the core question. I mean, what does the public want? They want police to respect them. They want police to stop crime. What does the city want? We want to retain police and we want to recruit police. So is this the right solution, or is some new training part of the right solution to get the police more in tune with the community? I think that is a substantive approach. What are the things that change the way we work together?
You speak with law enforcement officials. You also, obviously, I'm sure, speak with officers on the street to kind of gauge what the popularity of the decision like this is, without naming names, of course. I mean, what is the overarching theme with the NYPD? Do they like something like this, or do they just see this as a cumbersome burden?
This one is a burden. This damages morale. This is something they don't see. The ones I've talked to, whether they're union members or officers or officials, they don't see any usefulness to this. They saw a great usefulness for reducing stop and frisk substantially. They see great usefulness in working to reduce the petty crimes, but they don't see the use of this. They don't understand why the city council is trying to drive this with very little substance and data behind it.
And as far as, before we let you go, in your opinion, as far as appropriate oversight goes, do you think this oversteps the boundaries? Do you think it's, okay, this is in line with some changes that maybe theoretically need to be made here as we move forward? Maybe not this change, but something needs to be changed.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. And I think a really good answer is we have the Civilian Complaint Review Board. We have the Department of Investigations. And now we have some folks who seem to be not very well informed about what good oversight is. So I would say And this is my opinion, that this is not good oversight.
Richard Esposito, thank you so much for taking a few moments with us. We appreciate it.
It's great to see you.
All right, good to see you as well.